Hello, welcome to Actoroke, set in the world of Chaldea, and we are broadcasting live from Gamehole Con in cooperation with Six Sides of Gaming and RealmSmith, who are doing the production for this for us. Thank you, guys and gals. And here I have with me today for this event, Satine Phoenix and Jameson Stone. Yay! Thank you for joining me. And also I have Andy Watkins, Cosmo Joe. Andy Cosmo Joe Watkins is here with us as well. Yes. So what we're going to do today is we are trying something crazy. We are trying to do an entire Actoroke cycle in 4 days. We've never done this before. So what this is we had the RPG session this morning, now at the beginning of the convention. And then as soon as this is over, Steve Connor, my Chaldea partner, co-director, co-everything, he is going to write a screenplay adaptation, and he's got basically a day and a half to write it, from the end of this show until late Saturday night, Friday night, early Saturday morning. Because Saturday morning, we're going to do the actor studio session live right here. We will have actors performing the parts that we will, in the story that we will create this morning. And then I've got basically 30 hours to edit that into a movie, which we will have the viewing party here Sunday at 4 p.m. This is all Central Time. I'll be here. And by the way, I just learned that if you're here at Gamehole Con, you can come to this room and watch it with us. It'll be like a viewing party that we'll all be here. So hopefully, if you guys have time, you're of course welcome to be here, and we'll watch the movie together, and we'll stream it live. So that's the plan. That is Actoroke. We're setting it in the world of Chaldea. Chaldea is my fantasy world that I've been DMing since 1980, somewhere around in there. It's a little fuzzy. So we're doing that. Let's see. Okay, looking at my notes here. So let's do intros to the players, and so if you could give us your name and socials. Satine, we'll start with you, and then Jameson, and whatever you'd like to promote.
Thanks. Hi, everyone. I'm Satine Phoenix, former community manager of Dungeons & Dragons. I am the creator of Satine's Quest, luxury travel gaming adventures. You can find me at Satine Phoenix everywhere and wherever my husband, Jameson Stone, is.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jameson Stone. I'm the founder and CEO of Apotheosis Studios. We make games, graphic novels, and fantasy novels. We currently have a Kickstarter that's live right now. If you go to www.theredopera.com, you get an amazing Warlock-themed tarot deck set in the world of the Shadelands of Yonkoth, a Warlock-ruled city for 5th edition.
And Andy.
I am Andy Cosmo Joe Watkins. I'm a artist local to Wisconsin, and I'm a game designer. I own Studio 66 and have created the full-scale dungeon adventure Arpex.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. By the way, if you're watching, you will notice some flies. And we're not going to try and pull a mic pins and pretend the flies are not here on our heads and hands and everything. They are. You will see us swatting flies every once. I'm warming up.
It's part of the grit.
It's part. Yeah, we might
part of the grit.
Maybe we can get all the flies.
If I catch one, do I get advantage in game?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Okay, but you have to do it on camera.
If you smash
Okay,
one,
fair.
you get any experience points.
No, you have to catch one. Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah. I don't want people slapping the table all through this. Okay, so what we're going to play today is we're going to play an RPG that has never been run publicly before. It's designed by Jonathan Tweet. It basically takes some of the essence of Dungeons and Dragons and abstracts it a lot so that we can play encounters really quickly. He designed this for me for Actoroke. We're calling it the Actoroke role-playing game. Why not? And so this has never been run except play tests with small groups. So thank you for joining me for this.
We're on the cutting edge.
What I'd like to do is hand out your characters, explain just enough to get you started in the role-playing, and then explain mechanics as we go along. That way we get right into the fun stuff. Okay, so I have characters. It's all women. You're all playing women in this particular adventure. So let's address this right off the bat. You look like a little girl, but I want to make sure everybody knows that you're not a little girl. We're not, like, if something bad should happen to your character, we're not doing damage to children on this stream. It's just the actor is a young lady who is Sarah's daughter.
And adorable.
And adorable. I mean, why don't you show that up for the camera? Yeah, so that's Camille.
I'm Camille.
Yeah, you are playing Camille. And so while the camera was over there on that side of the table, you are playing Jameson, Warber, a female dwarven warrior.
I like her beard.
Do you have an accent for Warber?
I'll figure it out. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Right. And you are playing Anon. Andy is playing Anon, is a priestess of Osiris. And the actor will be Sarah Moore for that. So Sarah Moore will be performing the role of Anon, and her daughter Indigo Moore will be performing the role of Satine's character Camille, and Anne Carlton will be performing the role of Warber, and those are their pictures on those character sheets. Okay, so if you, and I have my own version so I can look at, in case I forget who you are. So I would say right off the bat, if you look down on your character sheet, about 2/3 of the way down, there's a section called Role Play. And so there we have the sort of roles that you can fall into for the purpose of, just to get right into it. So, so Andy, your character Anon, you're the leader of the group, or at least you think you are. you make decisions.
I've been guilty of that before.
Yeah. And then Jameson, your character Warber, you just like action. Like if somebody has a
Warber.
plan, you're happy to go along. Let's do it.
Any plan that involves action is a good plan.
Yeah, that's right. And Satine, you're playing Camille, who generally doesn't like to go along with whatever.
Don't tell me what to do.
Exactly. That's right. Thank you. Okay, so what we're going to do is this game is going to have 4 scenes. The first scene is going to be an introduction, just brief role-playing section. You get the quest. Please accept the quest. That would be a good idea.
Got it.
But it's a chance for you to role play a little bit. Let's figure out, let's find who these characters are as you intend to role play them. We'll find their voice a little bit. And then, please at the end agree to accept the quest. And then we'll go to the first encounter out of 3. There'll be 3 encounters. Each of the encounters will be progressively more difficult. If you lose one of the first 2 encounters, it just adds to the difficulty of the last one. So that's fundamentally how this game will go and how it's paced. And so let's do it. All right, so you are, at the beginning, you are what's called the Pyramid Bar in Graver's Dig. So Graver's Dig is a resort town where people come from all over Chaldea to go on adventures. And because there is a woman there by the name of Brithwina, who in the last series was played by Satine Phoenix. She rules this place. She's a demigoddess of Iran, and she hosts this hunt on a regular basis, and people come and go on these hunts, and she gives out cash prizes and so forth, and keeps some of what they find for herself, perhaps. There might be some shenanigans going on, anyway. But it's like Vegas for adventurers, and that's Graver's Dig. And Gravers, by the way, is a slang term in Chaldea for adventurers. It's short for grave diggers. It's kind of a derogatory, in Chaldea, the idea of people being adventurers, it's not glamorous. They're generally thought of as thieves and grave robbers, right? So you may not see yourself as that way, of course. So you are at Graver's Dig, hanging out at the Pyramid Bar, which used to be a temple of Set, back when Emperor Cordava ruled Chaldea and Set was the only legal religion. He crammed it down everybody's throats. Well, as soon as Emperor Cordava was assassinated, which happened recently, a bunch of other clerics, other gods, priests and warriors, and just general radicals came out of hiding and, of course, went and killed all the priests of Set and took over the temple and turned it into a bar. And just to show their defiance, there's a place on the wall called Heretics, and people will go in there and scratch their name on open defiance to Set. And sometimes Brithwina hosts parties to get more signature where people get random potions. If you add your name.
It sounds like her.
It sounds like
That's fantastic.
it's
Sounds like my kind of tap.
Well,
Yeah.
that's great. You're a demigoddess to a different god. So perhaps there's a little bit of manipulation happening behind the scenes. You know what we should do? Yeah, right, exactly. So that's where you are at. The bar is a rowdy bar. Picture like, one of those in the old country western movies, John Ford days,
Blues Brothers.
Lots of people fighting in the bars. I mean, there's a fight every night in this bar. Lots of hunters from all over Chaldea come here, And there's and regular not only grave diggers but hunters and everybody, and of course lots of locals who want to scam you take you from your money. So that's the type of place you guys are hanging out. In other words, it feels like home.
Oh, this is perfect.
It's a rough crowd, but we like it. Right.
It's a rough crowd. And so there, as you guys are hanging out there, this cute little flying lizard shows up. In Chaldea, they're called geckons, and the geckons are basically the messenger service. They're equivalent of ravens, if you will, but they're a little magical, cute tree. If Chaldea becomes a thing, we have a plush line ready to go. Right?
Nice.
So
Smart.
Cute little geckon shows up, and it has a message for you.
Oh.
And it just it drops off a scroll for you,
Ooh.
and you open up the scroll, and here you go, and you can read the scroll aloud.
Absolutely.
On the second line, there's a word called ma'at.
Ma'at.
Tell you what that means. That's actually in real world an ancient Egyptian word for the soul.
Oh, very
And
fun.
so it's what I call the people of Chaldea who worship the Egyptian gods. They are called the ma'at.
I am
you
one
are
of the
a
ma'at. Excellent. Well, then, I open the scroll. Rumors are that a magical flail of Mahat design has been discovered in a crypt beneath the elephant cage, whatever that is, in the Stargazer ruins. We need a powerful champion to investigate, but we don't have one in your area, so you'll have to make haste. Others are also searching. Signed, Feathers.
Yep.
Ooh.
So
Perfect.
You are a cleric of Osiris, so this ma'at.
Are there any Imperials around?
Yeah.
I don't like to admit
No,
that.
they're all.
Okay.
If there are, they're hiding undercover. Yes. So you're very excited about this idea of a flail of ma'at design means of your religion, of your ethnicity.
I am
right?
very excited about that.
Did it say? Do we get to keep the flail?
I would think we would get to keep the flail.
I
and
call
any
dibs on the
any
flail.
other treasures we might find. Oh, I might want the flail though, and it's part of my ancestry.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
We could arm wrestle for it, perhaps.
Deal.
I just want to go to a crypt.
Oh, actually, that does sound fun. I got to be honest with you. I'm on a mission from God here, so I think we should do this.
You and me both.
I
Let's
think
go.
we should do this. So, have we tied one on already this evening?
Yeah.
Yeah?
probably, yeah.
Maybe we should wait till the morning then.
I mean, I've got chocolate milk.
Excellent.
It comes in chocolate?
Yes, it does.
All right. Well, I think we're going to need to ask around and find out what this elephant cage is. That's where the crypt is, beneath it. So.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're accepting the quest.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Aye.
So yes, good. Thank you. Appreciate that. That makes the game go so much more smoothly. And okay, so what happens next is that you do some research. You check the Stargazer ruins. You have maps of the hunting grounds and where things are at. And so yeah, you've heard of the Stargazer ruins, and you haven't been there personally, but you know generally where it's at. And so you do ask some questions, find out a good way to approach it, and that sort of thing. You hear that the ruins are surrounded by these large rocks, and so okay, great. So you all head to the Stargazer ruins, and the journey takes you a couple of days. The hunting grounds are vast, and as you approach the place on the map, you see rocks surrounded by rocks. That was an understatement. I mean, these rocks are frickin' huge. It'd be like somebody from outer space hurled like rocks the size of Half Dome and threw them at this town. And it's all surrounded by these big rocks, like Yosemite-sized rocks. Right?
Wow.
And so, like, that's pretty crazy. And you also learned a little bit more about the Stargazer rumors were supposedly destroyed by some celestials. So this it looks like, that's how they did it. And they had a tower, the tower that they built that was so tall that it supposedly reached the plane of On. So what does that mean? So in Chaldea, when you look up into the sky, you're actually looking into another plane of existence. That is, it runs parallel to the prime material. It's called the plane of On. And it's where the Anumians live. And the Anumians are sort of Chaldea's answer to astrology. And so the Anumians are these constellations that are living spirits. And at any given evening, you might see any number of the Anumians out there. But every week there's a particular Anumian that is manifest. And it is the basis for the Chaldea calendar. So there's 52 of these Anumians. And it just so happens that tonight, the Anumian that is manifest is Grave Robber, and which is fortunate because you are going on you mentioned a crypt. If there's a crypt there, then that means that you're doing something in alignment with this Anumian.
As a druid,
Yeah.
would I know anything about this? As would I know anything about these rocks or anything about the constellations? Is that kind of druid I am?
Yeah, well, you know a lot. Yes, you know the path through the rocks to get to the ruins, and you also and everybody kind of understands this about the Anumians. I mean, this is the calendar. Like this is ingrained in the life of everybody. But you know that Grave Robber is particularly interested in helping people go and rob graves, which is horrible.
Perfect.
Horrible.
Fortune
but
is
it's great
upon
for
us.
Dungeons and Dragons, right?
Indeed. Fortune has smiled upon us. This is the week to be a graver.
Yes. Okay. So as you go into the hold on just a second. Okay. Okay, like I mentioned before, the city is has these massive rocks, and you spend some time finding the right path through these rocks, and your druid skills come in handy there. And you do see the ruins of this tower that was so tall it stretched into the heavens. It was toppled over. It's in places like throughout these ruins are these chunks of towers. It's like that ship in the movie Aliens, you know, right? It's
Got all these pieces.
Oh my God, this tower was massive, and there's just like sections of it in different places, right? And you go through this narrow crack, and as you come through it, on the other side, you see the vista of the city, of the ruins of the city, and you see this, and it's so awe-inspiring that you didn't notice that there were some warriors here, and who kind of come out of hiding, waiting to ambush anybody who should come this way. The warriors are led by a guy named Finian. Finian is a Celtic warrior, and his men are Celtic. His men and women, his warriors are Celtic warriors, and they step out to block your further path, between you and the way down into these ruins. And oh, by the way, one thing I forgot to say. It is good that when you meet an NPC, that you do have a little bit of a dialogue with them, because we hired an actor to play the NPC, and we'd like the actor to have some lines. So Finian steps out in front of you and says, "Oh, now where might you think you'd be going?"
Warbur instantly comes out, and I have a standard ability here that says fight with Warhammer, so I assume I have a Warhammer.
Yes.
Warbur's going to take the Warhammer and say, "We're going anywhere we want to go, out of the way."
Oh, I can't. I'm sorry, but I can't really allow that. And especially, what are you doing traveling with a child? That's very irresponsible of
I'm
you.
not a child.
Oh, well, pardon me.
I've got one of these, and I've been sharpening my sickle the whole time, and I hold up my
Nice.
sickle.
Oh, careful! You'll cut yourself.
Well,
She'd
then you
more
should
likely
let
cut
us
you.
pass. Right. You should let us pass.
Oh
then.
no, I can't do that. But you can't go this way. But you see, that's we're guarding this entrance by Sophia's orders.
Here's the
No
thing.
one can pass.
And I walk up real close. Here's the thing.
He's a little nervous, like this.
You should be. I'm
but
very
you
confident.
look like if anybody, anybody should know that Satine's character looks like a child, and
Holding a big sickle.
holding a sickle.
Now, here's the thing. I don't like it when anyone tells me what to do. So you're going to need to move along and pretend we weren't even here.
I can't do that.
You better listen to her.
I think you should listen to her, buddy.
But he's trying to like he's keeping between you and where you want to go, but he doesn't want to get too close to you. Like he seems unnerved by this girl.
Slowly walking closer.
he's like slowly walking back until he's like he can't go any further, and he's like puts the business end of his sword down. No, seriously, he
I like move it with the sickle very slow, and I'm just eye contact the whole time.
okay.
And I've got almost a lioness grin on my face.
Okay, so I think it sounds like there's going to be a fight here. So let's talk about mechanics. Okay, so what we do, and the way the encounters work in this system, is that we do what we just did. We role play up to the point where, like, okay, fight's going to break out here, or it could be a different type of encounter. You could try and bribe someone. This sounds like a fight. So what I will do is I will ask you, just without describing it, narrating it too much, just like what ability you're going to use in the fight from your abilities. You have several standard abilities. You can use these in every single encounter if you want to. You also have 2 exceptional abilities. These are abilities that you can only use one of these abilities sometime during the session. So only once per session can you use one of the exceptional abilities, and you pick which one at that moment, okay? And so so let's go around. Are you gonna fight with your sickle?
No.
Your scythe? No.
For druidical magic, can I kind of like mold earth and do stuff like
You
that?
basically make up anything that's reasonable
Fantastic.
for a druid type of thing,
Oh,
but it's
this
your
is
standard
perfect.
ability, so it can't be too super
Oh,
powerful.
no.
but
This is
that-
going to be
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm face to face with this guy, and I'm threatening, and he's not letting up. So I want to activate my druidical magic to get the ground to kind of roll backwards, and I want to hide behind Warbur. And be like, and then like,
So try to get the ground to roll and maybe toss him off of the ledge here that you guys are standing near, perhaps something like
Oh.
that. But let's come back to
Yeah.
we'll come back to the details on this. Okay, how about
Fantastic.
you?
So Warber has a standard ability that says intimidate with taunt. And so I envision Warber taking this gigantic warhammer and kind of grinding it together. And you can actually hear the sound of the leather straps grinding, and just uses this dwarven shout just, "Ah!" to intimidate as Camille is coming behind me.
All right. Okay. And Andy?
I'm gonna embrace that exact same action, and I'm gonna stand forward and I'll shout out, "I'm on a mission from God here. You stand down, stand down." Before he hurts you,
I
or
was hoping
before
you would-
she hurts you.
I was
sorry.
hoping you would say I'm on a mission from
I'm
God.
on a mission from God here.
From
As the
Dad.
cleric. All of us older people who remember the Blues Brothers, yes.
It's also one of my standard abilities.
Yeah, exactly. You can do it every encounter. Okay, so the way the mechanics work, now that you've described your intent, is that you're each going to roll a 20-sided die, and you'll notice that on your character sheet is a chart that has different, depending on what you roll, and I'll explain to the audience, depending on how well they roll, it's a different type of result. And either it's a fail or a fumble, a fail, or mediocre, or good, or great, or critical. Now, since your actions are in alignment with the Anumian that is manifest, grave robber, because you are going to towards grabbing a rape, if you roll a 7, it counts as a natural 20.
That's right. Right on.
So that is that. And so you're each going to roll, and then we'll narrate. Oh, and what you need is the first encounter. You need at least one of you to get a mediocre outcome. Somebody needs a good outcome at least, and somebody needs a great outcome at least.
all right.
Ooh. I had a failing effort.
Oh, okay. And Satine, what'd you get?
14, pretty good.
14, so that's a good result.
I have a 10, which is a mediocre outcome.
Okay, so you got the mediocre outcome and the good result. So this is, you did not hit what you needed to do. So one of you, if you like, somebody who maybe failed a roll,
That would be me.
you could basically escalate. You can use your exceptional ability here if you would like to. If you'd like to keep that in to try and get the party to a successful outcome here.
My
In other words-
exceptional abilities would not apply in this case, I wouldn't think. I'll have to save them for later. These guys aren't undead.
Oh, they are not undead.
No.
Right. Healing would be useful if this.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we're taking, I see,
Yeah,
right, we're
yeah,
taking,
yeah.
we're having a battle right now.
Yeah.
I will definitely use big healing to try to save the day.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Make another roll.
Hopefully I can roll better than a 4.
Just roll higher. It's super.
Hey, a 19!
Fantastic.
There we go.
Fantastic.
Okay. So now we have the good result, and this is and we have the I forgot the chart. Oh, there we go. We have the mediocre, the good, and the great performance. Okay. So let's start with the mediocre outcome, which was yours, right? It did okay, but these guys don't look quite so intimidated. Like they put off for a moment. Like, yeah, they recognize you're tough, but they pull out swords and start to go at you. Right. Okay. So now you're druid. So tell me a little bit about how that is going to help this battle.
So I'm creating difficult terrain.
Yeah.
By kind of riding the wave of the ground behind my friend here, Warber. And as that's moving, it kind of creates more rocks for them to trip upon.
Okay, great. And so what this effectively does is it causes the group to be very fragmented and have trouble having coming in for a good coordinated sort of attack. And you end up fighting them and being able to pick them off in smaller groups and focus your damage on them one at a time. But you end up taking a lot of damage in the fight. So you're yeah. So who took a lot of damage, and particularly a lot of damage in the fight, and
I would imagine our warrior probably took a lot of damage.
Warber would be right there out in the front, swinging warhammer. Yeah.
Right.
So I will definitely, use my healing powers to heal her.
All right, great. Okay,
Big
so
healing.
so the fight they weren't as intimidated as you hoped they would be. It turns into a bit of a brawl, but you guys managed to defeat them. But it was close there, and you had to tap into the heavy healing to make it work. So
Right on.
but then you managed to defeat Finian and his group, and they realized that oh you're not a little girl. You're
That's what I
badass.
was trying to say the whole time.
She told you clearly. Why didn't you listen?
Exactly.
So
Looks like it's Finn for Finian.
I have a standard ability here, Dwarven Wealth. Will that allow me to potentially plunder these soldiers who we have just slain in combat?
It might. That would have been like an option to try and bribe them.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you guys can plunder them anyway.
Fantastic.
Yes,
I plunder.
you plunder them. The leader Finian has a very nice sword, so you managed to bag that and go on. All right. So as you you clear this encounter and you go down into the ruins, looking for the elephant cage. I'm not quite sure what the elephant cage is. Nobody seemed to know what the elephant cage was back when you were doing some research on this. But there is this one area where you do see some elephants, and then it kind of dawns on you. They're trapped here. There's a sunken area, and as a druid, you might wonder, well, how long have they been here? How are they still alive?
Are these these are living elephants?
They're living elephants,
Wow.
and elephants are typically herbivores, but you're not so sure about these elephants. They seem pretty aggro,
Ooh, carnivorous elephants.
Oh.
and
That's a bad day.
and you will have to go into their terrain to get to where you want to go.
Oh, is there a way for me to kind of dig out part of the pit that they're in?
Dig it out
Yes.
using your druidical
Yes.
abilities. You'll have to get down into their terrain to do that. So, but that's a yes, that's definitely possible.
Could I use priestly magic to try to protect us while we go down there so she can use her druidic magic to try to do this?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a reasonable, very reasonable. Yeah.
I wonder if we could ride upon the back of an elephant
This
to
I
get
like.
to where we need to go.
Oh, that's nice. I like that idea.
Trample our enemies on the way.
It seems fitting here in the elephant cave.
Now, do you have an ability to go to tame elephants and ride on them?
I am hoping my party has an ability to ride on the back of an elephant.
There is one ability you have, Camille, that you might want, Marn Calling.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
the only
just-
one I don't know.
I thought I'd explain to you what that is really quick. So you have these graphs and tattoos on you that, so there's one.
I've got one on my face.
Yes.
It looks like this.
Yes. So Marn tattoos and graphs are magical. But they're also a bit addictive. And so you know other elves who have these graphs and tattoos, and you all work as a community to kind of help each other fight the addiction and not let it take over you. But one of your things that you can do is you can channel that addiction onto other people, onto creatures or people,
Oh.
and cause them to suddenly go running off to Marn because they feel the call of Marn calling to them. Because that's what happens when you fail your addiction.
Oh, wow.
Camille, I have a thought. If I use my intimidate and taunt to try and make an elephant sound, and you utilize your druidic magic to amplify my voice, potentially we can echo it off of the cave walls and have the elephants move elsewhere.
Warber, I had no idea that you could make elephant sounds.
It's very guttural. You just channel it deep down inside, and you.
I feel like you're holding back. But yes, I'll do it.
Fantastic.
Do I
Shall we try? Is there
Okay.
any other augments?
I guess what I'm hearing is that you're sort of stretching. You're asking me to sort of like wink, wink, nod, nod, stretch. Your intimidation comes from this ancient elephant sort of language.
Well,
is that how you intimidate people?
Using a taunt, but then augmented by druidic magic to
Right,
try and
right.
have it be a little bit more animalistic than maybe it normally is.
Okay, all right. So okay, I'm with you. I got this. Okay, I accept your idea.
It's very generous of you. Thank you.
Well, you know, you always got to accept if it's dramatic enough. You kind of got to go with it. You know. So, and you want to use priestly
I
magic.
think some
to try
priestly
and-
magic
to
just
try
keep
and
us protected,
protect you
absolutely.
guys as
Especially in
you're-
this
as
situation,
you're
it might
going
be a
down.
good idea.
Thank you.
All right.
Those
Okay.
elephants are massive.
I have a basic idea of the plan, so give me the D20 rolls here.
Oh, here we
Oh, I
go.
gotta do better than last
Yes,
time.
yes. And this, yeah.
Oi, not good.
Would
Okay, that's
3.
not horrible, I guess.
3. Jameson, how
I have a 17, and 17 is a great performance.
17.
I got a 12, so I just snuck into a good performance.
Yes, and this encounter has the same requirements as the prior encounter in terms of one mediocre, one good. But unfortunately, you got the mediocre. You didn't
got
quite hit
failed.
any of those. So if you want to, you can escalate and
I'm
use
escalating
All right.
with my Marn calling.
the Marn calling. All right, great.
13.
13. Okay, that's enough. That got you up to. So what you did with a 12 and a 13 and a 17, they got 2 good results and 1 great result.
Woo.
And so what we'll do, we'll start with so tell us a little bit about how as you guys descend down into the lair of these raging aggro elephants that are obviously not herbivores anymore. In fact, you can see other meat around, other dead bodies around this place. Like you're wondering, like, where do they come from? But anyway, let's not get distracted by that question here. These great, deep theological questions. So, tell us a little bit about how how this battle goes for you.
I steel myself, and I muster up my courage, granted to me by Osiris, obviously.
Of course.
I begin chanting, and I walk down in there with no fear, knowing that my God will protect me and my party.
Wow, and the elephants are taken aback. They don't run in terror, but they are taken aback. And okay, so now
They're
tell
gonna
me
when they hear that
about
guttural elephant sound.
starting with your plan as you did, and then changing that plan. So narrate me through that arc.
All right. So I push out my my tattoos, and I kind of like take my fingers like this, and I trace the lines. And as Warber does the intimidation call, I kind of like force it out and use the sound waves to project it onto the elephants.
Great. And what happens? You get to tell me.
Oh, I get
you
to
get
tell
me what
everything.
By the way, you notice I'm not rolling any dice.
Done.
Yeah. So the higher you roll, the more narrative control you have.
fantastic.
So I'm
And-
giving you a little bit of control and see how you use it.
Like sound waves ripple through the air, and like shadows of my tattoos just kind of slick onto the elephants. And then everyone can see in the distance like this ping, and the elephants all turn towards the other ripples in the air, and they just keep chasing it like a carrot on a stick.
I would say all but one of them.
Ooh.
Yes.
Got an
They all
outlier.
go up, and one thing you find out is they all go up towards like the way you guys came down, and they're trying to go up that, but now you realize why it's a cage, because the elephants can't leave. But they're trying to leave, so excellent. But there's one elephant that does not seem to be so impressed.
There's always one.
With tattoos and children. So tell me about how your great success.
So Warber oversold her ability to do an elephant song. However, gave the best performance of her life, arguably a great performance. And just from this deep guttural place, going, and really appreciated Camille coming in to empower her taunt in this way. Otherwise, Warber knew that it probably wasn't going to cut it, and so there's a lot of gratitude for her elven friend. Just
excellent, great. And so what does the elephant do?
The elephant here is just inspired by the most beautiful mating call it has ever heard in its entire life, and feeling incredibly excited, runs off to go find a potential partner.
Perfect. Thank
I was
you.
a little worried when you said mating call.
Let's see, what are the content guidelines here? Excellent. Okay, so let's
Victory, though, right?
yeah,
Success at any cost.
Victory. Yes, indeed. Okay, so so with the elephants distracted, and certainly out of the way, and most of them trying to leave. Okay, I'm just going to stop there. Our fearless gravers go exploring the elephant cage, and the foundation of this ancient tower that the stargazers built is there, and in that foundation you find a passageway system that leads into it, and there is down below. Eventually, you find an area where there are a bunch of crypts. Ooh. And it is clear that the tower had some of the architectural style, and some of the people who built this tile were also of Ma'at origin, and the crypts down here are Ma'at crypts.
Now, Warber has been kicked out of her clan for stealing. Is there anything here to pilfer? Anything that looks, potentially thief-worthy?
Well, it looks like, the easy stuff to find has been,
Pilfered already.
Pilfered. That's always the problem with going into crypts.
Low-hanging fruit.
Usually you'd have to go a little further than the last party. But fortunately you do. You go a little further than the last party, or maybe the same distance, as it turns out, as the last party. And you make your way into a chamber where a powerful Ma'at pharaoh was interred. And there is this sarcophagus that is upright against the far wall. Their torches are casting shadows, and there are hieroglyphics on the walls. And you see this sarcophagus, of course, as is in common with Ma'at design, has an engraving on the lid, but it's standing upright, of the person inside of it, who looks like a very powerful warrior. And the hands of this bas-relief come around like this, the arms, and there is an actual flail, not an engraving of a flail, but there is a flail that is inside the grip of this.
Of the relief.
Of the relief.
Okay, all right. Ooh.
And as you sort of cautiously enter into the room, checking it out, a shade appears, a ghost, a spirit of a priestess of Set.
I'm not a fan.
So she comes into vis, and she smiles at you guys. I mean, she sees your symbols of Osiris. you know, but then she smiles again. But she doesn't look at you. And, well, hello there. How are you? No, not a British accent. I can't do an Egyptian accent, but hello. I will just use I will use an American accent. Hello, how are you? Welcome. Hi. What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here.
Camille takes her fingers and tries to go through.
Through the visage.
Yeah,
Through-
she's trying to dodge it. And then
that's
when
weird.
you actually come in, she's like, oh, that kind of tickles.
Barbara, have you seen anything like this in your pilfering?
Nothing like this quite.
Well, hi. My name's Sophia. What's your name? Camille. Hi.
I'm Warber. You're incredibly friendly for a ghostly apparition.
Oh,
a little
well,
too friendly.
Why not? I mean, I can't be friendly to her, but I can be friendly to you two. You know, I know we're priestess set. We're not supposed to be all aggro all the time, but it gets lonely down here.
Totally understand.
Where are you from? What do you do? Why are you here?
We're here for a flail. We gladly take it and be on our way and leave you to peace.
Oh no! You can't have the flail. Sorry, no.
What?
Oh, we're gonna need that flail.
No,
we're
no,
on a
no.
mission from God.
No. I'm on a mission from God too, and my mission is to not let you have the flail.
Yeah, but my God wants it more than your God wants to keep it.
yeah.
Are you literally just stuck here because of this flail?
I think that's what happened. Yeah, I came to get the flail, and
Oh.
I ended up fighting this. Wait, she looks at. There's a bunch of dead bodies. I forgot to mention dead bodies in the room. You know, now that you're getting over
We're
the,
used to
the-
corpses.
the excitement of the flails and the sarcophaguses and the spirits, and looking around at the rest of the decor. Yeah. There's some dead bodies, and she points to somebody that looks like a big tough knight, like a human, but like a really tall human in full plate armor and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, I fought him.
Don't you miss the sky? Don't you miss the air above?
I do miss the sky. I'm really hoping that I can kill one of you and you can take my place and I can go.
Oh, well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
What about this? You're here to protect the flail. What if you just come with the flail? Then you can always protect the flail no matter where you go. And you get to travel.
That's smart.
Try and protect the flail. Can I protect the flail if the flail's on the move? Okay, so this is what you're going to try and talk her into. That seems reasonable.
I think that's a good one
Yeah.
right
Try
there.
to
Yeah, that's a
talk
good
her
angle.
into
It is your
protecting-
duty to protect the flail.
Come with you and
The flail is
protecting
being
the
geographically relocated. You must continue to protect the flail.
Yeah, sounds like we got a new party member.
I think it's. I did not anticipate this, but that's great. That's fabulous. Okay, well, you also need to, like we did before, come up with a mediocre, a good, and a great performance to do this. So it's a D20 roll, and so make your rolls and tell me. Well, we know what the plan is, so you're. There, see, I told you we would have flies. You're down in the crypt, and in the crypt there are flies.
Well, there's lots of dead bodies, so it
Yeah,
makes
it-
sense,
it's-
honestly.
Exactly. Okay, so what skill are you using?
First, I would like to try Who Innocent Little Me.
I think that
And if that doesn't work,
Yeah.
I've got an exceptional ability that I would like to whip out.
yeah, but you already used your exceptional ability, didn't you?
Oh, you can only use one of the two?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't get to use
once
both.
per
Oh,
session.
I
Use
didn't
one
know that.
of the
Yeah.
The
Oh,
only one.
I still thought I had that other one in my
All right,
back
so
pocket.
yeah. We thought
Yeah.
that we had one
Yeah,
of each. Okay,
yeah, that
no,
is
that's
something-
okay.
Yeah, that is something that is a little confusing about
Yeah.
this. Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
We're still playtesting that.
Yeah.
This isn't official yet. We're still
Because
playtesting.
I would have done the other one for some
yeah,
I was
yeah.
holding on to that one.
You were holding on to that
Yeah.
one. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll
right.
see. Maybe I don't understand the rules correctly. Let's see how the rules go. Jameson, what are you doing to
So I'm
participate
going
in
to
this?
utilize dwarven wealth and try and tell a story of how my ancestors had spirits that traveled with their magical items to be able to protect them while on the move.
Ooh,
So
that's smart.
caravans weren't able to pilfer and steal in transit. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I love it.
I love it. I really hope you roll well. All All right, Andy.
All right. Well, this shade appears to not like me at all, so I'm gonna try to be careful here.
Your religions are at war.
That is a
So
fact.
let's be really clear here. For the last 40 years, no religion, it was illegal to worship any god but Set.
Right.
And you worship Osiris.
I do.
I mean,
I do. I'm dedicated.
Clerics of all sorts of religions didn't like this rule, and a lot of them were rounded up and killed. You've heard of like the Spanish Inquisition.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was the Chaldea Inquisition.
I
So,
see.
so yeah, lots of bad things happened from Set.
All right. On. So I mean,
but
left to my own devices, I might want to just throw down with this shade, but I'm a team player. So.
yeah, exactly, right.
All right, well, they're trying to convince her. I know she doesn't really like me, so I'm not going to try to convince her. I'm going to use my priestly magic instead to make them seem more convincing and more charismatic.
Okay, excellent. Okay, well, roll the dice and see how well you did.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Oh,
May
come
charisma shine
on.
upon them. Oh.
Well, you all rolled crap?
I rolled a 7.
I rolled a 4.
This is a 1, and that is a fumble fail with embarrassing consequences. We call that rolling for story.
yes, that's fantastic.
Bragging about wealth can be dangerous.
You do have you have not used your exceptional ability yet, so maybe you want to.
Yeah, I think that's probably
maybe you want to re-roll on
probably a good idea. I'll re-roll and use an exceptional ability. I'll go with maybe you can. So can't touch this. I assume that is a dodging ability, or can it be open to interpretation?
That is like an improved intimidate.
Oh, even better.
Like she just goes on a rant that
Perfect.
is like
Got it.
like-
Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah.
Excellent. I'm going to re-roll. Got a 3. That's a failing effort, but it's
3. Okay.
certainly
At least
better
not
than a
a
1.
fumble.
Okay. So that's not real good. Okay, okay. Tell us about. Oh, hey, I just remembered something. Your 7 that you rolled.
That's
That's a
right.
critical success.
The 7 becomes a 20, and I can share the success with you. Oh, I can give you a re-roll.
Thank
That's
you
what
kindly.
it is.
May I
Yes.
re-roll my 3?
Yes, you may.
Oh,
You
fantastic.
can give.
Good catch, Peter. We were almost toast.
Oh
I got
my
a 4.
goodness.
It's a little bit better, at least. It's a little
1
bit better.
to a 3 to a 4.
We're getting all the low rolls out of the way here.
All right. Okay. So you get to narrate how this idea did not work out so well as you would have liked.
Warburg initially launches into this very eloquent story about her dwarven ancestors building these mighty cavernous halls dedicated to the preservation of these relics. However, sometimes greed does get the best of you, and while this is occurring, sees something shiny on a corpse, and is like still talking, and then leans over and starts stealing things, which I assume the shade does not take kindly to, and then starts eyeing the flail as well. The shade sees this, doesn't like it, and so I then use my exceptional ability to double down, nay, triple down with a reroll on my can't touch this, about really emphasizing how sacred that these artifacts are, and unfortunately I have been actually kicked out of my clan for stealing, and the shade senses this from me and is not very impressed.
Yeah, well, I was thinking also that probably at some point during your story, she was starting to kind of tune out a little bit.
That many re-rolls is like, whatever.
like it was like the story's getting. What's the TLDR version of this story? kind of going on and on, and then then she became a little more interested when you started stealing stuff off the body. So that's good.
Did I get anything good at least from my thieving?
Yeah, you got some great stuff. Yeah, great stuff. Unfortunately, it's all counterfeit. I mean, you did roll a 1 and a 3 and a 4, so you think it's great, but it's not
I'm very
that great.
excited about it.
Okay, but now that we're up to the 4s, okay, so let's talk about how you didn't do so well.
Well, it's just, I need protection and the flail needs protection. I've got a bloody sickle. I am covered in blood. And it's just eyes and gore. And I'm just like, I'm real little and I need some help. You could help me. Good. She just doesn't buy it. She's like, I am a shade and you are an elf. I know you are older than you look. I'm
True. All right, so you are collectively as a party did not get the roles that you needed to succeed. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to make a ruling on where this lands, and then you can narrate getting us to there.
Oh, okay.
As the last narrate, because you've got a 20, so you've got a lot going for you here. But so the way it works is that you will. The ending will be that you're leaving with the flail, and she's following you, but she's not happy. She's not doing it willingly. Like this idea of
I like
her
that.
continuing to guard the flail is happening, and she is trying to hurt you guys along the way, but she can't. She's that's what will make this work. Is that
Nice.
she's just not being very effective. But you will end this adventure with this ghost of priestess of Set haunting you, especially for the rest of your lives.
I'm
got
down
that
with
going for
I
you.
like that.
Exactly,
I got that going for me too,
All
which
right.
is nice.
All right, so go ahead and tell us how we got to that point.
All right, so I start tapping into my priestly magic, and I feel a true connection with Osiris. I mean, better than ever before. I can feel the light like a shining beacon down upon me, and she feels it too. The shade feels it too. The hold that her god has is weakened compared to Osiris's just serious presence inside, and. She's moved. She's moved to. She's forced to come with us. Now she's on a mission from God, just not the God she wanted.
Right. Perfect. That's great. Yeah. So you get the flail, and she is angry. She's an angry specter. You tried to con her, but you got the flail, but you didn't dispatch her. She is. This is the credits roll. You guys are going across the hunting grounds of Graver's Dig, and she is following you and flipping you off, and she's angry. But the presence of Osiris is still there, protecting you on your journeys.
You got this montage every time we're doing something. She's like trying to like hurt us and stuff.
All right, so last bit, back at Graver's Dig. The adventure is over, but I'm curious how you guys tell the tale. Like a little snippet of how you describe what happened. Doesn't have to be true, but how you described what happened in this particular outing to other people at the bar. We'll start with you this time, Andy.
Wow.
We'll go the other way.
In this case, I'm just going to have to be humble and give all praise to Osiris, and just silently sit and enjoy this artifact that I have in my hands. I'll leave it to the more charismatic group here to shout out our exploits.
All right, Jameson.
There were guards, and then there were elephants. have you ever seen it? There were children present. We won't talk about it. It was amazing, and I've got such wealth. I'm gonna be famous.
So I was riding on the shoulders of Warburg, and we decimated an entire group of guards. And then Warburg did this weird mating call thing. I don't want to repeat it because I'm too young. But we convinced this shade, to come with us, and now we've got a buddy. It's wonderful. And we've got that cool flail. Everyone, we've got this awesome flail.
Team Osiris.
That we probably should not be telling everyone about. Is probably a secret mission. Was this a secret mission?
Was it a secret mission?
Just say, get the flail.
Not particularly secret. In
Fantastic.
fact, we're
famous.
showing it off.
We're
We're like,
famous
yeah.
So, where do I hand in all these ears to get a stamp on my my little scavenger hunt?
I've got a lot of bandit ears.
Yeah, and Sophia is, of course, also at the bar. People are staying away from the shade, mummy, ghost thing, but not at all happy with what, really complaining about what's happened to the temple in her absence. She used to be a priest here. And
Oh, that's right. We're literally in her ancient temple right here.
Yeah,
We're like, this is a nice tavern now. We like it this way.
this is the bar. Yeah, she's very upset about stuff happening.
This is why they call us Gravers. I can tell.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, that is our Actoroke session. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much, Satine and Jameson and Andy for coming and hanging out with us. Any parting thoughts? And you want to repeat your streams or anything? Yes. So
Sure.
yeah. Satine.
Parting thoughts. This was super fun. I want to run this more. I think it's very fast and slick. I'm Satine Phoenix, found at Satine Phoenix everywhere. Go to thebardbook.com if you want to pick up a really awesome bard book. It's in pre-order right now, Siren's Battle of the Bards. And if you're looking for luxury adventures, go to satinesquest.com for luxury travel gaming adventures.
Ooh.
And my wife and I, we do a lot of fun things on social media. So you can find Satine at Satine Phoenix on social media. And I am Stone Jameson. And on Instagram, it's stone.jameson. It's a great way to keep in touch. And again, we have a Kickstarter running right now for an epic tarot deck set in the Red Opera, which is our 5th edition Warlock-ruled city. And you can go to www.theredopera.com right now to go check it out.
Andy.
All right, I am Andy Cosmo Joe Watkins. You can find information about me by going to the Studio 66 website. You can find information about our full-scale dungeon, which is very fun. You're walking around, playing the game, rolling dice. We're sold out for, the foreseeable future, but, come join. So when we have more tickets, you can get involved. Thanks.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much, Satine, Jameson, and Andy, for joining us here today. I had a lot of fun doing this. I'm Peter Adkinson. We are streaming 2 more events here at Gamehole Con. So if you want to see actors perform the roles and the story and the action that you just saw in the RPG now, join us Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Central Time. And we will have, Ann Carlton will play the part of Warber. We have Sarah Moore will be playing the part of Anan, the priest of Osiris. Sarah's daughter Indigo will be playing the part of Camille. And we have Brian C.P. Steele, who will be playing the part of Finian. And we have Jennifer Albatali, who will be playing the part of Sophia. Yeah.
Oh, what a great cast.
The ghost.
Yeah.
So that's good. I get to direct all of them. I'm so honored to be able to do this. It's wonderful. Can't wait. And then Sunday at 4 p.m. Central Time, we will be back here for a live viewing of the movie, assuming, no pressure, but that's what I'll be doing. All right, thank you so much for joining us, and we are out.